So which jazz standard has the most beautiful modulation? For me, it's easy. It's the B section of the tune In a Sentimental Mood. Let me play this for you, and then we'll break it down step by step. So firstly, what is a modulation? Well, a modulation is when the harmony or the key center of a jazz standard changes for an extended period of time. When playing jazz standards and when playing jazz harmony, it's very common for the key center to temporarily tonicize a different key. However, this isn't usually for a sustained period, usually just for a bar or two. When the harmony changes or when the key center changes for 4 bars or more, this is typically classed as a true modulation, and the B section of In a Sentimental Mood is a perfect example of this. So In a Sentimental Mood follows an AA-BA form. That means there's 3 A sections and 1 B section. Let's break down the harmony of the A section, and then we'll explore the modulation to the B section. So starting with the pickup bar, we have 2 bars of D minor, and then 2 bars of G minor. We then have this 2-5-1, so a minor 2-5-1, back to D minor. We then move to a D7, and this sets up a 2-5-1 in the relative major, which is F major. So G minor 7, C7 to F major. So as we can see, the harmony there is very much focused in the key of D minor. We have the 1 chord, so 2 bars of D minor with this minor line cliche. We then move to the 4 chord in the key of D minor, so G minor. This then transitions very smoothly into E minor 7 flat 5 to A7, altered, down to D minor. And then the final 2 bars, we can look at it as a 2-5-1 in F major with a D7 to approach. Here I play a D13 sus to the D7, and then 2-5-1. I often play the G minor to a G flat 7, so the tritone sub, and then to the 1 chord of the relative major, F major. So then from here, how do we modulate to D flat, where the bridge is? If we look at the bridge chords, we have D flat major 7, B flat minor 7, E flat minor 7, A flat 7, back to D flat. So that's a 1-6-2-5 progression in the key of D flat major. Our 1 chord, D flat major 7, the 6 chord, B flat minor 7, and the 2 chord, E flat minor 7, the 5 chord, A flat 7, and then back to the 1 chord, D flat major. So this is a very distinct modulation because we're moving from this quite sad and somber minor tonality. You know, this is how the A section sounds. Very beautiful harmony, but this is very much in a minor key. And if we contrast that with the B section, you know, it has a much happier and much more cheerful sound. So when we have a modulation like this, you will typically see a 2-5, which is unrelated to the original key. And that's exactly what we see right before the bridge. So we land on our final chord, we have G minor 7, C7 to F major. And the most simplest way you can do this modulation is to play E flat minor 7 or E flat minor 9 here to an A flat 13 to D flat major. So that's just a 2-5 of the new key. So 2-5-1. And that sets us up nicely and moves us into the key of D flat major. Another way that I like to do this is with a chain of chromatically descending dominant chords. So here at the end of the A section, we land on the F major, and notice now I'm just going to play descending dominant chords from F all the way to D flat major. So F major, E7, E flat 7, D7, and that takes us very nicely and smoothly down to the new key. So up to speed. Beautiful. So this modulation sounds so distinct because we're moving from the minor tonality of D minor to this very happy sounding D flat major harmony. So if you'd like to learn more about this song, do check out my beginner course on jazz modulations for beginners, where we stick exclusively to 3-note voicings. And I also have a dedicated course which covers improvisation over this beautiful jazz standard. You can find links to those courses below. So let me play this one more time. I'll play from the second A section to the end of the tune. And listen out for this modulation and look at the voicings, study this, and have fun playing this wonderful jazz standard. I'll see you next time.